Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to be showing you how I designed my April bullet journal spread, and I actually really like the way that this one turned out. Definitely has a floral theme like most of my other spreads do, and this one was interesting because it ended up being a little bit different than I had anticipated it to be, and then I actually ended up messing up like the very first page of it, which is totally fine. That happens, and I was able to fix it, but it's just part of the creative process, right? Sometimes things don't always go your way, and that's okay. You have to get creative with figuring that out. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Please let me know what you think, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I am starting off using my light gray brush pen and drawing some little leaves going around the page, just kind of covering the entire left page of that spread. And these markers are so nice to work with because they're just so smooth and they just glide across the page really well. I love using these Tombow dual brush pens. So I use a brush side, and then to get some of the finer like details, I'll use the other tip of it, which it's a little bit of a finer point. So then I move on to my little quote that I put in the center, which I'm using my, what is it called? It's the Prismacolor, I think it's the O1, or no, it's the O3. Using the Prismacolor O3, and the quote that I used says, "Never forget how wildly capable you are." And then moving on to the calendar page on the right side, I decided to go with a little floral wreath around the word April. And so this was a lot of like very detailed pen work where I'm using a smaller size pen. I think it's the O1 in the Micron pen. And just going around in a circle, adding some flowers and then little smaller branches and leaves, just kind of flowing around in a circle around the word April. So it was very tedious, but I really liked how it turned out in the end. And then I went back in and kind of added a little bit more line work to the flowers and a few of the leaves. And I didn't have any green brush pens, so I added a little bit of that light gray to a few of the leaves, and then I ended up taking my watercolors out and coloring some of the leaves with like a darker green and then kind of a bluish green to kind of give it some variety in color. So I was worried that the watercolor would actually like warp the pages, but because I used such a small amount of it, it ended up being totally fine. Wasn't wrinkly at all, so that was really nice. And then I decided to go in with a few different layers for the little flowers on this wreath. So I started out doing like a darker pink kind of red color for the middle section, like the stamen of the flower, and let that dry. And then I go back in a little bit later and add a lighter pink to the rest of the petals, and then add some line work to that, or not really line work. Yeah, I guess line work with the paintbrush to give it a little bit of detail. So, and then underneath it, I wrote out the days of the week and then the full calendar for the month of April. So, and again, I usually start my days off with, or the week off with a Monday instead of a Sunday. I know that might be weird, but that's the way that it works for my brain. So that is what I've done. And then I actually totally messed up. I didn't like how the other spread on the left hand side didn't have any pink components to it. I just felt like it was kind of bland and neutral, so I totally messed it up and like thought it would be fun to like do a solid pink like watercolor background, but it ended up looking terrible, totally warped the page, and so I ended up just redoing that whole page. I cut out a separate page from the back of my journal and then just redid the quote, redid those brush pen leaves, and then I ended up going over them again with a pink brush pen to add a little bit of pink to kind of make it cohesive, but you'll see what I'm talking about at the final flip through. So moving on to my weekly spread, I did something a little similar to my February page where I did these some different boxes for the days of the week. And I tied in those same brush pen leaves that I did on the page before, just to kind of make it a little bit more cohesive. And I used a darker pink to kind of outline the rest of the boxes, and then going back in with my O3 Prismacolor pen, just writing out each of the days of the week, the dates underneath, and then doing something similar to what I did for the wreath on the previous page. I'm just doing some flowers and little cluster of leaves around them, and I really liked these. I think they're really cute. I love the detail of it, and it was a lot of work. Like, this definitely was a more time consuming spread, but I really liked the end result of it. And same thing that I did on the previous page, I'm going in with my watercolors and just adding in the colors to each of the leaves and flowers again. Pretty much the same style, doing a few of the leaves that like gray brush pen and adding a few details on the petals to make them feel a little bit more, or like give it a little bit more depth. And yeah, so I used a few different colors of green. So I did one that was kind of a deeper dark green, and then I did a more kind of turquoisey one where I added some blue, like a blue-green color, and then I did more of a lighter, brighter green for another set of leaves. So just give it a little bit of variety. It ended up turning out, I don't know, I feel like the final result turned out to be a little bit more of a tropical vibe than what I was going for. I don't know why. I don't know if it was like the kind of bluish green colors, like along with the pink that made me feel that way, but I was trying to go for more of like a spring like color scheme, but I feel like it kind of looked slightly tropical, which is totally fine. It just like wasn't exactly what I was going for. So here is the final flip through. Yeah, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any suggestions for what I should do in my next spread, like let me know. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.